Propaganda is a drum. It makes no sense until the beating stops. An agenda is a borrowed carp. It keeps no head warm until the owner accepts it. If you forgot my name, I am whatever you call me, and you are on Broda Journal Series. The cover shoe worn by an idiot is worn backwards, but the ankle shoes worn by a criminal is stolen. A case when a student cheats in an exam room is covered, but its critics who uncovered it becomes the target. Then a system is about to relinquish. Welcome to the State of Department of Servicing Omoyele Sowore. This is a city at the edge of rumor, where war had made its bed and refused to leave. City where residents don't care about others, and where criticism is illegal and unopposed is encouraged. A city which is inhabited by criminals of wars, and that city is called Sin City. A man who was the cruelest among them was installed as chief mayor in an unopposed accusation. But a year after, an egalitarian man from another city found himself in Sin City after their plane crashed into the city because their airspace was crossed. He did not die, but was badly wounded. He was brought to the chief mayor, who was amused that there was a survivor among the plane crash. The egalitarian man pretended as he was surprised that such a city exists. He knew what he came for. He asked, how can criminals be in charge of a city that is coexisting with criminals? The question raised the answer by a leadership aspirant. Some are not just criminals, they are wicked. Some are not just wicked, they are evil. And some of us are repentant criminals who have buried the cutlass and no longer seek the blood of the guilt. He went further. We are not ashamed if you call us criminals. That, at least, is a kind of democracy. We admit what we are. But our leader, he will not accept that adjective from no one, even when his shadow wears it. He takes land without asking. He forges papers like a tailor forging clothes. He bends the Constitution until it bows to him and his cronies. He is more evil than the evil we left behind. The egalitarian man was eager to advise him. Do you have democracy here? He asked the chief mayor of the city. Yes, he said. Do you follow it closely? I tried, the mayor replied. Why did you fire our plane, killing almost 50 wise men except me? Because I see you as a threat. What makes you think you are wise? He asked. The plane survivor breathed. Before he asked the next question, the chief mayor stood up and walked to the egalitarian man, gave him a very hot slap, and someone said, that is how he greets others that are not criminals. In pains, the egalitarian man asked him, what controls you? The chief mayor said, pride. The egalitarian man said, I was born for this purpose. The face of the chief mayor was alarmed and amused. There are 50 of us that was born for this purpose about 28 years ago, which was all on that plane that you brought down. But I was born for this purpose. That is why I remain and I'm not dead. The chief mayor's face tightened. Amusement cuddled into alarm. We saw 28 years ago that your city will become so strong and destroy all the lands around them. So 50 surrogate mothers bore 50 sons and raised us for one mission. The mission, the others died in the fall. Only I carry out the mission today. The chief mayor and all his crew was there in the ultimate palace. How will one wounded man hand us? The chief mayor imagined. The chief mayor already had ideas that he was there to hand them. He asks, how do you intend to do that in the midst of 100 warlords? Criminals have a weakness. Criminals are not wise, but brave. Criminals don't appreciate humanity, but psychodynamics. Democracy does not allow anyone but law to harm, but yours is different. You do not care about your fellow criminals. Then the egalitarian man woke up from sleep as it was a dream all along. Now, if I call you a criminal, it is not for you to define it for me until I say it is what it is. Dictionary says a criminal is someone who is against the law or forbidden by law. Someone who did illegal and unlawful things, found guilty or a criminal for breaking the laws. It is Nigeria that law has sides and constitution has favorites. So law makes you a criminal and not the opinion. You cannot use lawlessness to break law. Otherwise, law does not exist. So why use the law to correct what is not even unlawful in the first place? I believe Sowore's crime was dropping an opinion rather than a cybercrime offense, because we are in a democratic space. Opinion is part of fundamental rights to express oneself through speech, not inciting violence between. And calling an opinion a cybercrime is incitement of violence. Opinion is not cybercrime, and cybercrime is not opinion. No one is guilty until tried, and no one is God because of power. Take it or leave it. If he says the president is a criminal, let him give his opinion about that without you pushing an agenda or found indecidedness. Someone that has not submitted his original school certificate means same have disregard constitution and they have bent it for the same, which is unlawful, and that is a crime. When power is handed to political vagabonds, when clowns become kings because the crowd applauds them, the critics becomes their target. The truth is locked to obscurity. We are witnessing a dangerous times where lawlessness is becoming adjusted to favor the ruling party, and those craving for better country are seen as making empty noises. Yes, they know the truth and they don't want it to stand. Remanding critics in prison is being rewarded as excellence from the judiciary that has kept quiet for integrating the repentant terrorists that have been integrated into our military bodies. Some agencies have mastered the act of grabbing attentions without delivering meaningful results. And unfortunately, few politically motivated people keep applauding them when they should be spending time in prison. Someone who cannot succeed as a class reps are now occupying the center stages from the state level to the federal. A society that cannot tell the difference between attention and value is easy to deceive. This is a wake-up call. A nation where poverty is making conscience to vanish cannot give value to the future. Eloquent speeches replaces policies. Dramatic statements represent reforms. Political drama replaces development. Propaganda replaces performance. That is the state of our union of brokenness. To the elite who speaks for APC, know that being famous does not make you capable to lead. Much political knowledge doesn't make someone visionary. A microphone does not mean your voice must be heard. Literacy is not even a validation for competence. A lot of things must be corrected in this country. The issue of banter and online gossips from our influencers towards one another has to stop. The real heartbreak is not that we are afraid of Kuje prison. It is that many Nigerians have started treating insecurity and hardship as reality, while voices are kept to inflict more pains. You can buy a voice, but not buy a movement. Because if all Nigerians that 8 bad governors calls the president a criminal today, will they be sent to Kuje? Then would the hardship disappear? Would insecurity vanish? If you refuse to answer the questions asked by Nigerians with remedy, then they only prolonged the liberation of the nation. The issue of Akara and Kuli has taken over our social space. We cheer those who entertain us while discredit those who keep fighting for our democracy, especially when they have nothing to get or to gain. If we continue rewarding noise over knowledge, popularity over performance, 15K over free and fair election, and slogans over substance, we shouldn't be surprised when conscience becomes cruel. A better society begins when citizens stop asking who is making the most noise and start asking who is creating the most value. Let us not stop the cause to restore democracy into our system and not to get divided. A cause worth one will become more. Thank you for listening. See you next Thursday and bye for now.